And for the first time, I think in the history of the Congress, there was actually a hearing that was held on H.R. 40 and the concept of reparations, which essentially would allow for, a bipartisan commission to really study the question of the journey that African Americans have been on in this country, from slavery through Jim Crow, institutional racism, the legacy of it, and to figure out how America can come together behind the solution and what that would look like. But to also make sure that the record, is clear. Because for a lot of folks, it's not. And that's slavery, and it's the legacy of slavery as well. African Americans were largely carved out of the New Deal. So you had, the Depression and a response to it, but a response to it that only applied to some Americans, not all Americans, in certain instances. And then you had the greatest middle class in the history of the world built as part of American exceptionalism in the aftermath of World War II. A large part of that was the GI Bill. African Americans fought in World War II. We know about the Tuskegee Airmen and others, just as courageously as others. I mean, you had the president parading the Tuskegee Airmen the other day. But African Americans, in large measure, were cut out of the GI Bill. And so part of what helped to build the greatest middle class in the history of the world didn't apply. So you had this long journey that I think is part of the historical record. Nobody can factually dispute it. And then the question is, what does it all mean for the conditions that many communities still find themselves in right now? And so I think that's part of the concept of H.R. 40.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos from Brookings.